Two. Well, we will likely have some open phone lines towards the end of our morning. It is my pleasure to welcome to our program a local author, Coshocton High School graduate, Chase Will, to talk about his book called Moving Through. And good morning, Chase. Thank you for being with us today.
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Very good. And Chase is author, your day job these days?
I wish. I'm very lucky to work for a company in sales, though, so that's given me a lot of experience in preparation and public speaking, thank God.
Are you still living around here?
No, I'm living in Port Clinton, Ohio right now, but I tend to visit Coshocton pretty frequently.
Okay. You ever go to Jolly Rogers?
Yeah, I actually live pretty close to there. It's an amazing place. Love their fish sandwiches.
Best seafood in Ohio. You can't beat it. You got to bring me some next time you come back down to Coshocton. So now you graduated from Coshocton in 2008.
Yes, sir.
And tell us a little bit about the book Moving Through. What's it about?
Moving Through is about a group of high school misfits mourning the death of their mentor while inciting a school-wide rebellion. And it's about the struggle to kind of hold on to your truest self while fighting crippling depression, survivor's guilt, and anxiety about the future, which I think is something a lot of people have to go through close to the end of high school.
Now, you told me off air that you actually started working on this project while you were still in high school. Is that right?
Yeah, 14 years ago when I was a senior. I can't believe it was 14 years ago. I wrote the first draft of this. And over the years, while I was in college and between other projects, this is the book I kept going back to because the theme always resonated with me, and it's always been something that I wanted to go back and finish and, actually release to people because I feel it's a very important book.
What was your motivation, your reason for beginning this project 14 years ago when you were still in high school?
Well, in high school, everyone's got their kind of angst, and you have to find an outlet for that. And for me, it's always been writing. I would sit down and write short stories, scary stories, everything I could. It was just always an outlet for me. And this is the one that really stuck, and this is the one I always found I had more to say.
Did you draw your inspiration from your friends, your fellow students? Where did the inspiration come from?
A lot of the inspiration came from growing up in Coshocton. It's a small rural town. It's got a lot of really earnest people, and people in Coshocton, they tend to be some of the truest people you'll ever meet. Like, when someone from Coshocton tells you what they think of you, they're telling the truth. So when you have a friend in Coshocton, you have a friend for life, and that's a really good way of getting through any kind of hardship, and I'm really thankful I grew up there.
Can you tell us a little bit more about is it written in, is it a story form, beginning, middle, and end, with a climax and a conclusion type of a story, or is it narrative, self-help? How would you characterize it?
Oh, this is a fiction novel, so It's got a beginning, middle, and end.
So without giving too much away, what can you share with us about the protagonist and the antagonist and the characters and the development and what they go through?
Oh, the protagonist is a kid named Trey, senior in high school, and is kind of fighting through some mental illness and survivor's guilt over losing his loved one. And I'd say the antagonist is really just, getting through high school and fighting down the people who are trying to change you and, finding ways to be your truest self without ever changing because of hardship.
So maybe societal things have changed. We've got kids have the internet today and different ways of communicating, and society certainly has changed. But what you are describing are the issues and things that kids, teenagers, young adults have always dealt with.
Yes, sir.
So, what more can you tell us about the revision? You started working on it. You had your first draft when you were in high school. And 14 years later, it's published. Can you just share with us a little bit about the process over the last 14 years and the revisions, some of maybe the experiences that you had, things that you saw that caused you to go back and tweak the project?
Yeah, over the revision process, things change as you get older. When you're a kid and you're going through stuff, you feel like it's never going to end. And, that's kind of how it started out. But then as I got older and went through more and found ways to get through, that really informed the process, particularly 2 years ago when I lost my little brother to cancer and actually experienced that really heavy loss, you know, I found out some things that really informed the story, and the story became an outlet for that. And I got to say again, people from Coshocton, they are the truest people you'll ever meet, and they're always there for you. And, you know, friends and family, they help you out when you're getting down. You know, when you're going through hard stuff, they're the ones who pick you up. They're the ones who carry you forward, and that really informed the story a lot.
Well, you're in Port Clinton now, in Ohio. Where else has your career path or your life's path taken you since you lived in Coshocton?
Oh, all over the U.S. My job takes me to refineries in California, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Michigan, Canada. So I've been just about everywhere in the U.S. by now.
Okay, and is it just this one book so far, or are you working, or have you worked on other projects?
Yeah, actually I have a second one I plan to release sometime in the fourth quarter of this year, maybe around Halloween time. It's called Parasitic Host. It's a dark comedy. It's a lot different from this book.
Okay.
So while Moving Through takes place in high school, Parasitic Host is in college, and if I continue that path, my next one will be in a nursing home.
Okay, and with a timeline anyway. Now, Moving Through, when was it released officially?
It will be released on Valentine's Day, so in 2 weeks.
Okay.
But it's actually for pre-order right now on Amazon.
Okay, and so we'll get to that information here in just a little bit. So it has not been officially released. Are you working with a publisher, or are you publishing yourself?
I'm working with Mental Anarchy Press. They're out of Toledo, Ohio.
Okay, so you found a publisher that certainly felt that the book deserved further exploration. How long of a book is it?
It's 364 pages.
Okay, so rather lengthy book, not something that you would finish in just one evening.
You know, you get a long flight to California, 5 hours, you can probably finish it.
Okay, all right, very good. So what else would you like to tell us about the content of Moving Through, either the characters themselves, how things unfold, or the inspiration behind it?
Well, I'd say the story has a lot to do with hope. And like I said, friends really inspire hope, and you got to hold on to the people who make you feel like your truest self. And I feel that, you know, any good story doesn't really have like a straight message, but a good story should be more like a mirror for the reader to see themselves in. You know, like less of a statement, more of a question mark. And that was my goal for this book, is make it something that's not trying to teach anything, something that's not trying to preach anything, but something the young adults can see themselves in.
So young adults, is that the target audience, would you say?
I would say so, but I think it's a book just about anybody would enjoy. I mean, I feel like young adults, that category is kind of skewed nowadays because young adult books are the ones that everybody seems to read. So it falls under that category, but I feel like even if you're out of high school, like 20 years out, you would still enjoy this book.
Well, Chase, you've offered praise of Coshocton County and the people of Coshocton County, and I think that is common for those that grew up here and then moved away. You appreciate your hometown and your roots a lot more. So all that being said, the people that read Moving Through, will Coshocton County culture and attitudes come shining through? Will the readers be able to pick up on that?
If you grew up in Coshocton, you might see some familiar things, but it takes place in a fictional town, which is loosely inspired by Coshocton. But, yeah, growing up there was very influential on my writing process and everything I do artistically. So yeah, a little bit of that bled into the story, yeah. And
so tell us now if the official release date, February the 14th, but if folks want to pre-order, how do they do so?
You can go on Amazon.com and look up Chase Will, or you can just go to chasewill.com to pre-order a paperback copy.
Is that CHASEWILL?
Yep, it's the verb, then the affirmative.
Okay, very good. So you know your parts of speech. Now, when you were in high school, you alluded to this, but you loved to write. Did you excel in your English classes and your writing classes?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I had a really good teacher named Miss Boyd, and I'd turn in a story. She'd always give me extra credit, and she would tell me what's working, what's not. And I got to say again, everybody in Coshocton High School, all the teachers there, they were all very, very supportive, and they always found ways to help me integrate what I love to do into their teaching. So everybody there really was helpful, and I wouldn't have been a good writer at all without them.
What else would you like to share with us, Chase, about moving through or perhaps future projects?
I want to share also Amy Casey of Coshocton did the cover art for the ebook, and she's a fantastic artist, and if anyone wants to look up her art, it's at caseysart.com. And just want to say, too, that it's a book for anybody. Like, it's not just a high school book. It's got some dark comedy in it, because even in grief and the worst times in life, there's always some comedy. And I feel that the important thing is to find comedy in life's darkest moments.
Very good, and certainly agree with that wholeheartedly. Chase, it's been a pleasure. Anything else you'd like to touch on before we wrap up?
The spirit of Coshocton lives on. Thank you, everybody in Coshocton. I miss you all, love you all, and hope you get out and get my book.
Chase, I want to ask you one more time, for people that would like to pre-order, that would like to learn more about the book, what do they do?
Go to Amazon.com, look up Chase Will Moving Through, or go to chasewill.com.
Okay. Hope you sell lots of books, Chase. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Mike. Have a great day.
You too. That is Chase Will, and graduate of Coshocton High School, 2008, a project that he started when he's high school and has revised it, fine-tuned it, and is now ready for release on February the 14th, and we wish him lots of success. 10:17 is the time. We have